Hey everyone, this time I'll be talking about some upcoming games I'm interested in. There's no particular theme or order here, but maybe let me know what you're looking forward to in the comments. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff I overlooked. With that said, let's just jump in. Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash for PS4. I like a good Senran Kagura game. The gameplay is awesome and always gets better, and there's a lot of creative fan service. They really like to go over the top, and it seems to be the case again here with Peach Beach Splash. Oh, that name. Instead of being a hack and slash game, it'll be a third-person shooter with water guns. It's an excuse to get the girls all wet basically, so I'm all for this. There's a great interview with the game's producer, Kenichiro Takaki. I'll put a link in the description because the interview is pretty funny. Some of the things he says are just the best. Why is it third person? So you can see the characters' boobs and butts. And he also mentions that he wants to make a pinball game so that he can have balls rolling around on the girls' bodies. Just read the article, it's really funny. The game is set to come out in Japan in March, but surely we'll be getting it too, since we got all the previous Senran Kagura games. Seems like it'll eventually be released on Steam as well, according to the interview. Cyber Dimension Neptune 4 Goddesses Online for PS4. Looks like we'll be getting another Neptunia game sometime next year. It's an action RPG developed by Tamsoft, who also make Senran Kagura, and what's interesting is that instead of the usual sci-fi setting, 4 Goddesses Online will have a fantasy setting. Even though the name has online in its title, it will be a single-player game. Seems like this is one of those trapped in an MMO kind of game. There isn't any gameplay footage out there right now, but the screenshots look great. I really like the new outfits, and there are also some illustrations of some of the goddesses in some sort of transformed HDD-like state. Vert, Ram, and Nepgear actually look somewhat sinister. I kinda like that. Really looking forward to this one. Hopefully we'll be getting some gameplay footage soon. This Wind Waker-esque trailer isn't really enough. Valkyria Azure Revolution for PS4 and Vita. Now this is an interesting one. I'm actually not really looking forward to this game, to be honest. It's more like I'm looking with morbid fascination at the corpse of what was Valkyria Chronicles as it slowly decays. Sounds disgusting, and it kind of is. Valkyria Chronicles, in my mind anyways, is a masterpiece. Valkyria Chronicles 2 was a bit of a misstep, but still enjoyable, and while Valkyria Chronicles 3 went the right direction in some ways, it kind of went the wrong direction in others. I know that Azure Revolution is supposed to be a spin-off, but why is it like this? Swords and guns? They're just losing the plot here. The somewhat vague, fantastical elements combined with an alternate history World War II feel was a great combination. If there was any video game series that didn't need to be on the receiving end of a mediocre shonen action anime ejaculation, it's Valkyria Chronicles. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for Wii U and Switch. Not really gonna talk about this all that much. Enough people on the internet are talking about it already. I'm really excited to see how Nintendo will handle a 3D open-world Zelda game, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I haven't really played a bad Zelda game yet. And if anybody brings up those, I think it's those CDI games there, those don't really count anyways. By the way, I'm not including any video footage or Zelda music because Nintendo likes to do copyright claims and rob me of my 7 cents a month revenue I get from my videos. Alright, and then lastly, Pokemon Sun and Moon for 3DS. I always get both of the newest Pokemon games, and this is going to be the same for Sun and Moon. This is going to be the first Gen 7 game, which is pretty exciting. New region, more Pokemon, more abilities, and more moves. All sorts of stuff you would imagine a new Pokemon game would have. As with all Pokemon games following Gen 1, Sun and Moon seem to be evolutionary rather than revolutionary. But that's something I always liked. There's nothing like sitting in the warm, comforting glow of familiarity. Apparently, we'll be able to transfer Pokemon into the game using Pokemon Bank. So we can transfer all the Gen 6 games, as well as the Virtual Console re-releases there of of the Gen 1 games as well, so that's pretty cool. And what's also nice is that we'll have to wait until January 2017 before we can do that. It's kind of nice because it forces everyone to play the game properly rather than bringing in their Pokemon from their previous games right away. And also it looks like I'll have to make a new Pokemon transfer video as well. Yeah, and that's it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Nothing else really comes to mind there. Now, if there's anything that you find interesting, maybe just write that in the comments section. I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff that I'm missing. I mean, how is one able to keep track of everything, right? So if you know anything cool, just let me know, and maybe I'll check it out and see if it's something I can add to my list of things I would like to get in the future and try out. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.